Yeah.
Hello,
Hi, Dr. Bodhi. How are you?
I'm all right. Not
Yeah,
the
so great to see you.
best. Yeah.
This Enid speaking.
Hmm?
This Enid speaking to you. Okay. I
Ah,
have no.
okay. So you got the. I sorry, I didn't read your email about where to start today.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter. So
Okay.
we start the place where we stopped last time. Okay.
I forgot where is it.
No, I
Sorry about
no, I will just go through what we have done so far.
Mm-hmm.
Then we come back to the point where we stopped last time. Is it all right?
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay,
good.
now we are going back to the place where we have started. I think people are 11 people are there, so that's all right. So others will
Yeah.
come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go back to the book, the the very first book.
The essential
Yeah, essential one.
fundamentals.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So
I will share the screen. Okay.
okay, I believe you can remember most of the things.
Yes, I can. And
Yeah.
actually, we just
Mhm.
did a review till April last month, and then we started learning something about the delusive thinking. So stop it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
that's good. So we start from the 10 unwholesome actions. That's where we start.
Chapter
Very good.
chapter which chapter?
Very
Chapter
good. Right at the beginning. Right at the beginning. Yeah. Very first thing.
very first thing?
Yeah, yeah. The very first thing is
The 10 unwholesome actions?
that's
No.
right. That's right. 10 unwholesome actions. Papa Kriya. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Okay.
So that one we studied or we understood the Kama, Tanha, Rati.
Yeah.
Then Raga, Lobha.
Yeah.
Isha, Moha, Machariya, Krodha, Vayu. So I go a little bit slowly and just go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, karma. Now I believe people have got a good understanding about karma. Now karma is, karma is everywhere because due to karma we are living in this world. We can't escape from this world as far as the karma is there. Karma
Mm.
is likings or dislikings, or it is to do with attaching other things in the world, outside things. Karma is nothing other than I like this, I don't like that. That is what is karma. In simple
Yeah.
terms, I like this, but I don't like this. I like to have this, I don't like to have that. So that is karma. So if anybody is giving attention to that karma, is tanha.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
somebody is giving attention to that, stronger the attention, stronger the suffering. Buddha says, lighter the attention, lighter or less attention, you don't get that much of suffering. So it's attention towards karma is tanha, attentiveness towards karma. Then when those two things are happening without our knowledge, our physical body starts to change without our understanding, without our knowledge, the body or the physical system. So there are two things. There's a physical system and the emotional system in this
Mm-hmm.
particular process. So the physical system has got all the organs, and also it has got various molecules or particles made out of this particular physical body. So all those things are there. So they start to get, I would say, agitated or get, whispered, or the physical body start to identify what's going on, try to figure out what's going on. There is a karma, there is a attentiveness towards karma by the system. When I say system, is the six senses. Six senses are working towards karma and attentiveness. So you can't forget that. Six senses, they are called the aggregates, five or six aggregates. So the eyes, the nose, the tongue, this, that, the body and all that, the brain. So when they, play this role of karma, then the physical system start to recognize that. I would say recognize that. So that recognition gives some sort of change in the system. So rati mean it start to agitate or warm up. I would say warm up is the thing that we said, rati. So when that happens, this kama tanha rati is going to occur repeatedly. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Going to happen repeatedly. Repetitive happenings of kama tanha rati is called raga. It's
Yeah.
happening repetitively. Now this can be observed by us when we see something. There's another thing I want to tell you here. So when the karma, where this karma is coming from, it's coming from rupa. What are rupa? Rupa are the things that came from the outside world. So all the things are coming towards our six senses as rupa. So sound is a rupa. What we see is a rupa. What we hear is a rupa, what we taste is a rupa, what we touch is a rupa, what the speed comes from is from a rupa
Yeah.
as well. So all these things are coming towards us when we catch them. Once we catch them, the karma starts to work. That is where the karma is coming from. Now, there's another thing we have to say. This rupa, Buddha says the rupa outside, but we can't get the rupa from the outside as they are. What we
Mm-hmm.
do is we take that rupa and we create some different rupa than what is outside. It is called upadana rupa. So we create a upadana rupa by mixing with karma. For example, if you see something, if you say to that rupa, it's a nice, thing or nice flower, so you add the karma of nice, that adjective of nice, into your rupa, and you create a rupa which is called upadana rupa in your system. So you can say it is an ugly rupa. So then you say it's a ugly house or nice house or whatever. Then you put that extra bit into that and say you make the Upadana Rupa. Now, the Upadana Rupa is what we are dealing with. We can't deal with the outside Rupa of objects directly. That is the problem of ourself. That is why we are suffering. Buddha says, why can't you get the Rupa as they are in the outside? Then you won't suffer. So if you say a house or houses or anybody, if you don't say it is good or bad, if you take it as neutral, with a neutral mind, then you won't suffer. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are adding that part of karma, mixing with karma, so that brings the suffering.
Mm.
So going back to this one again, kama, tanha, rati, raga. Now I have come to that point. Kama, tanha, rati, raga. Okay? Rupa.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
are two types of rupa. One is called the vastu rupa, which is the rupa that is you find in the when you see outside all these objects, people, the you say the animals, people, situations, everything which comes through the rupa. Those are normal rupa or vastu rupa. But we make a rupa in our interior or the mind, which is called upadana rupa.
Yeah.
So upadana rupa is different to the normal rupa.
Yeah.
Normal
Yeah.
rupa is the rupa of the objects and other things. Upadana rupa is what we create in our system.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
So may
are
I
the
ask you a question?
hmm,
Sorry about that. Yeah. You just mentioned, I forgot. Yeah, you mentioned ruba. Ruba is
rupa.
the outside materials, right?
Yeah, all the things that we see every day. You see the houses, you see the people, you see, the buses, trains, you name everything is coming through your system into your mind as rupa.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we don't like to take them as neutral rupa rather than be mixed with karma.
Yeah. 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 That's
So we
correct.
say
Yeah.
we say I like it, I don't like it. So if you look back to your life for the last so many years, we were dealing with upadana rupa, which were mixed with the normal rupa that we have seen and suffered.
Yeah.
That is what Buddha says.
Just
Buddha
the
says,
shadow. The
huh?
shadow in our mind.
Rupa.
Upadana.
Upadana means you created rupa. Instead of
Yeah.
normal rupa, you create something in your system or the interior or the mind by
Mm,
mixing with karma. So without
mm,
karma is either you like it or you don't like it or neutral. Three types. So you like it, you don't like it, or neutral feeling. So if you take
mhm,
them as neutral, you don't care. You don't go after them. You don't try to find happiness or sadness from them because you take them as neutral. If you take neutral, you get the Vastu Rupa. If you don't get as neutral, then if you mix with karma, then what will happen is you get a Upadana Rupa.
exactly. I got it.
Yeah, so you have to be very careful with looking at Upadana Rupa. Buddha says Upadana Rupa are the Rupa which are troubling us. So when we are dealing with Upadana Rupa, we are always in trouble.
Yeah.
But it is not that easy because we are used to that from when? From the day we came to this universe, when no one knows. From the
Yeah.
day we came to this universe as a human being or any other being, We
Yeah, I
started to
agree.
deal with Upadana Rupa instead of normal Rupa or Vastu Rupa. So from that day onwards, we were
Yeah.
suffering, suffering, suffering.
Yes, yes.
That is what Buddha said. So Rupa, Vedana, this is Rupa. We studied Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. So that we'll come to that later. I'll recall those things. We studied about the aggregates of the thought. So if you go back to where I just stopped, so we said yeah, this Pancha Nivana, we'll come to that in a minute. So uh, that particular karma, I'm still at karma. Now, Buddha in his first discourse of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, Buddha mentioned about karma. Karma sukalli kanu yogo ino gammo putugjaniko anariyo anatta sanghito. I'm a bit faster than what you expect, but doesn't matter. What it says is mixing with karma. Now, when you mix with karma, your all your organs, if you mix with karma, the organs get, what do you call it? Your all the organs get, uh, not purified. Purified one is getting dirty. So Buddha says you you put dirt of karma into your system, then you suffer.
You put dirt of karma in your system, then you get suffer. Yes.
Yeah, because Buddha says it is not your organs are responsible. The actions done by the organs are the problems. It's not your organs. So Buddha never said to you know discard or think negatively about your organs. That
Yeah.
is
No.
that is not a meditation. Some people do that. Some people think about the organs, they are deteriorating, I don't want these things and all sort of things.
No.
That is
No,
not
no
the
organ issue.
meditation Buddha asks you to do, because these organs help you to achieve the enlightenment. So
Exactly.
how can you discard them? How can uh, say, I don't want these things? They are, useless items. You can't say that. You
Cannot.
need
Yes.
the organs to live and get the, enlightenment or attain the enlightenment. So therefore,
Exactly.
you can't discard. You can't discourage your organs, but you have to discourage what the organs are doing with karma. That is what you have to discourage. That is
Yeah.
what we have to. So it's not nothing to do with the organs, but the what the organs are doing is what you have to check with karma. So don't mix karma with your organs. That's what Buddha says.
The mix karma with your organs.
Yeah,
Yes.
because karma is strongly, I would say very strongly. Don't mix the karma very strongly into your organs.
Mm-hmm.
Strongly, because lightly, no problem. If you
Mm-hmm.
put too much of karma into your system, it get you know I would say it get unpurified, or it get discarded. It get it does all sort of things to suffer us. That's the point I was trying to make. So don't mix with karma. So if you mix with karma, then tanha comes. Then the system tends to, your physical system, all the particle tends to warm up. That is rati. Then all these three things are happening repetitively is called raga, kama, tanha, rati, raga. Then you come to a situation where you can't escape from this situation where you have made this attachment. Then the next item comes lobha. Lobha is nothing but you are trying to get what you are trying to achieve, the happiness. You are trying to get your happiness through these four items. Kama,
Mm-hmm.
Tanna, Rati, Raga. You are aiming at, your focus is towards what you are going to achieve. The happiness that you are going to achieve by mixing with karma, the rupa mixing with karma, or the upadana rupa, you are looking for the upadana rupa to get your happiness. So you are not going to release it. You're not going to release it. That is called lobha. You are attached to that. You are attached to that. Lobha. I want it. In different terms, I want that. I can't live without it. I want to go ahead and get what I'm looking for. That is lobha. So the first four items, kama, tanna, rati, raga, brings the lobha. Make sense?
Makes sense. Yes.
So lobha, then the dvesha comes. Dvesha means, dvesha is nothing but, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Desha is nothing but you get, the system get it works in a disorderly manner. Your system doesn't
Yeah.
work neutrally. It works in a disorderly manner, your system.
Yeah. Yes.
Then what happens is you get dvesha. Dvesha means anger, because your system is not working the way you like. Now it's changing. So that change is bringing the dvesha. Dvesha comes from lobha, because you are trying to achieve something, you are thinking whether it happens or not. So you are in a doubt. So doubt brings the dvesha, which is the
Yeah.
anger. Make sense? Anger.
Yes. Yes.
Anger brings.
Resistance, anger.
This you have
Yeah.
to check in your. This has to be checked by our system itself. We have to see, when I attach to that, what has happened to me, or what is happening to me now, or what has happened to me when I attach to that uh, thing or the person or whatever, when I was young or when I was in that
Mhm.
situation, what has happened to me.
Yes.
So then
We
only
can
you can
check out.
realize exactly whether this particular format is correct or wrong. So that's called self-assessment. You have to do a self-assessment all the time. So you have to do a self-assessment and figure out the real meanings of these things can be found by performing a self-assessment process. So kama, tanha, rati, raga, lobha, dvesha, moha. Moha means you are working as a foolish person, I would say. That is what Buddha says. Foolish means without knowing that system has come to this stage now. So moha means I didn't realize that my system has come through all these steps. Kama, tanna, rati, raga, lobha, dvesha. So I didn't realize that. That is called moha. Couldn't stop it right at the beginning. So that is moha. Moha is being foolish.
Being
Foolish
foolish.
means, foolish is not the normal people talk about the foolishness, but here, without knowing, we have come to this stage. That is called moha. But because you can't see, it's a blind situation. Moha is a blind situation, can't see. So fully blind situation. So therefore, you can't see what is going on, but your intention is still there to get the happiness through that upadana rupa. You try your best without releasing it, without getting rid of that. You attach to that, and macharya is until you get your happiness. You are fighting for that. That is called macharya. You are fighting through the system. Macharya. Okay? So I'm just trying to make it very practical rather than looking at what the definitions that I have given. Right?
Mm.
Understand
Yeah.
that, but it'll tally with what I have written there. But we have to figure out the practical situation here. Okay, so karma is I like it or I don't like it. Tanna is you are, pay the attention to that very strongly. If I put it that way, Rati is some sort of warming up in the system. That means the system changes.
Mm-hmm.
System undergoes, the compression. The system undergoes compression, squeezing, warming up, and vibration. That is Rati.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's slightly or strongly. It depends on the situation, how bad the karma is, how bad
Yeah.
the tanna is. So it depends
Yeah.
on higher the tanna, higher the karma, higher the tanna, higher the karma and tanna, higher the rati. When they are stronger, all these things are getting stronger and stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So raga repetitively it's working. So entire system is now in a mess. It's not in a calm situation, it's disturbed, I would say. The
Mm.
system has been disturbed all of a sudden.
Disturbing.
Yeah, disturbed. So that disturbance can go up to moha, blind, what is going on. Still you are hanging on to what you are looking for, which is macharya. Then comes the krodha. Krodha is the
Mm.
entire body, physical body, everything is
Mm.
going, undergoing these changes like, compression, squeezing, vibration, warming up, attraction, retraction, and thinking all about these things, thinking about the intention, when I'm going to achieve that, all sort of things are coming to your system.
Yeah.
Then you you come to a situation where no matter what, I'm going to do this. Some people used to do that by destroying others, destroying other countries, destroying, the people, destroying uh, destroying whatever around them.
Yes.
You may have seen that. So that's Krodha Vaira. So Vaira is that retaliation, no matter what. So some sort of retaliation against anything. So you can see here what Buddha is telling us. The karma can throw us to Vaira and Krodha. Krodha and Vaira. So retaliation. Retaliate with any party or any substance. How?
Mm.
This is called cause and effect. The cause and effect process. Cause and effect process. Buddha's teachings are like that. Cause and
Yeah.
effect process. So
Yeah.
when you are looking at anything, you have to, Buddha's teachings, any sutra or anything, what you have to look at is what Buddha has said first and what is at the last. So Buddha clearly said, if you start with that, you end up with here. So how it happens? Explain in between. So that is how you analyze. Any sutra, the Mahamangala Sutra, the Karaniya Metta Sutra, the Ratana Sutra, the Maitri Sutra or what Meththa Sutra or any other sutra, you analyze in that manner. Look at what Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, what Buddha said right at the beginning, what was at the end. So you can relate start to the end, then you can realize that this is what he said, this is what is happening, this is what his topic is, this is where we end up with. So Buddha says if you get rid of karma, you won't get vaira or retaliation. If you get karma, you end up with retaliation. If you don't have karma that strongly, then you won't end up with retaliation or
Mm.
hurting others. In
Yeah.
other words, karma brings to hurt others.
Mm.
Karma is nothing bringing hurtful thoughts to harm others.
Yeah.
Is what we have learned here.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So that's the line of thinking. So line of thinking must be there all the time so that you can, even if you forget these terms, you know at least what is happening in the system. So you don't have to use these words as they are if you can't remember everything. Kama, tanna, rati, raga, lobha, desha, moham, acharya, krodha, vaira. If you can remember, it's good. If you can't, you don't have to worry. As long as you know the line of thinking, if you know the cause and effect through
Mm-hmm.
your practice, then you can stop the virus. Because Buddha is not asking us to remember or by heart these terms. Buddha is
Mm-hmm.
asking us to practically
Practice.
observe and try to prevent
How to
these
prevent.
things as much as we can.
Yeah.
That is the message of the Buddha.
Yeah.
The Buddha's teachings has got three items. One is Buddha's giving examples. Then Buddha is preaching with
Mm-hmm.
examples, and Buddha is advising us. So examples, preaching, and advising. Those are the three things Buddha used in all sutras. Now the next one is very roughly. Is it too
Mm-hmm.
much?
Oh no, it's really good and reminds me lots of
What we studied
lessons.
here earlier a
Yeah.
few months ago here. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if you go back to the next one,
Next one, yeah, is the hindrances.
yeah,
Five
you
hindrances.
Pancha Nivana Dhamma or five hindrances. I'll go through that also. Now I'm going to relate that to what we have studied just now. Then
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can make it easy. This last
Uh,
time I went through separately, but now I'm going to bring them together because you are
okay.
on a better footing now. You know what these things are. When the sound comes, your mind goes to that and say, yes, I know. So therefore, much easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much easier.
Now see, Buddha used the same karma in this one. Now see, look at the first one, karma, that we used,
Which one?
the one that we studied just now. You know, so you have to recall what we have studied just now. That is kama, tanna, rati, raga, lobha, desha, moha, matsarya, krodha, vaira. So karma is the very first one that we just studied, gone through.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Now see, here Buddha says in the five hindrances, the first one is kama chanda. So Buddha added another term to kama, kama chanda. So kama chanda. So it is added to kama, this word. So kama is the first one. So kama chanda. Okay, so if you divide into two parts, it says kama chanda. If you look at the sounds, I'm not talking about the writings. I'm talking about the sounds of what Buddha preached. Kama chanda, kama chanda. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kama chanda. So two sounds, Kama, Chanda. Kama, we know. I like, I don't like. Chanda is you select. You select. Chanda is selecting.
Select.
So if
Selected.
you are always happy to select, this is good, that is bad, that is called Kama Chanda. If you are not happy to select, this is a good one, that is a bad one. So say today you got something to eat. So when you are eating, depending on the taste, you might say, if I get the same thing tomorrow or some other day, I'll be happy. So that's selection, Kama Chand. So if you say to you, I got something to eat, I had to enjoy that, you enjoy that. Buddha never said not to enjoy, you eat by enjoying the meal, but don't ask that meal to be there next time also. Make sense?
Yeah.
So if you don't ask now while you are taking the meal today, if you think about the same meal coming tomorrow, I like to have the same meal tomorrow. If you are thinking on those lines, what will happen is Buddha says, you are not enjoying this meal or the tomorrow's meal. Because your mind is somewhere else. Got it?
Yeah.
So Buddha said, don't do that. Just enjoy what you have got. Tomorrow, if you got glass of water due to a drought or something like that, happy with that. That
Yeah. Yeah.
comes
Happy with
tomorrow.
that.
So don't think
Yeah.
about it now. So be
Yeah.
present. Don't be in the future. That's what it
Yes.
says. You have asked. You may have heard about that. Be at present means that. So be at present. So enjoy your meal. So here, Kama Chanda means if you like something, right? If you like
Yeah.
something, if you give the tick or if you select that, I like
Mm-hmm.
it, or if you select, I don't like it, that is called Kama Chanda.
Yeah. I see.
Then what happens is, now see, when you are in that particular mindset, what happens is, Vyapada. Now see, before that, we'll check where Buddha is telling us here. If a person selects Kama Chanda, where that person is going to end up with the last one. Kama Chanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddhachukucha, Vichikicha. The last one is Vichikicha. That's the doubt. Doubtful life. That
Don't
person
follow.
will be in doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That's the message given by the Buddha in these five hindrances. If
Yeah.
anybody selects karma, or anybody says, I like it or I don't like it, that is kama chanda, that
Mm-hmm.
person will have to live with all sort of doubts.
Mm-hmm.
So in between, Buddha explains how that person is going towards the doubt through kama chanda vyapada tinamidda uddhachukukucha. So that is how end up with doubts. The life becomes with doubts. Then when you have got doubts, you are suffering, you are not happy, you are not normal, you are abnormal. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the system becomes abnormal. When I say system, the physically and emotionally, in both situations, the system becomes uncertain, abnormal,
Yeah. Abnormal.
abnormal. So Kamachanda Thinamidda. sorry, Kamachanda Vyapada. Vyapada means when the Kama Chanda, when you mix the uh, upa the normal rupa. Now again the rupa comes to this rupa. So where the Kama is coming from, rupa,
Mm-hmm.
outside things. So we collect all karma, mix with karma, outside things. So karma is there to mix with outside rupa, then karma is there to produce upadana rupa, as we said earlier. Upadana rupa are produced or created by mixing the normal or the vastu rupa with karma. So you mix with that, then what happens is your system get disturbed, excited, whether it's going to happen or not. So that is the doubt that this person is going to be at. In between, now see, that's why we have to look at the first thing and the last thing. So look at the first thing, kamachan, the last thing is doubt. Vichikicha is the doubt. When there is a doubt, last time we studied, when there is a doubt, the fear comes. Wherever there is a doubt, there is a fear. I'll give you a good example. Now, say animal is trying to drink water
Yeah.
from a place where the water is at, say in
Hello.
the jungle. In the
Mm-hmm.
jungle, the the animal is there to drink some water. All right, maybe
Yeah.
a river or whatever, small place where that water gets stagnated. So this animal is always, when the animals are drinking water, you can see, takes a sip of water and look at both sides. Look at both sides before going to the next sip. Why?
Mm.
Doubt is there and the fear is there.
Mm.
Is somebody is going to catch me? If somebody is going to hurt me? So this is in our system as well. So whenever we are going to do something, we are in a doubt. Am I going to fall? Am I going to I'm going to slip? Is somebody coming and try to get this place or what that place, or do something against me? So that doubt is going on in this world. That is a fact, no matter what, no matter where you are. So that doubt, when that count is there, the system get disturbed. That is called vyapada. Vyapada is the all the body parts get you know uh, hurt, compressed, vibration. All those things could happen without our knowledge. But we have kama chanda. But these things are happening in the system without our knowledge. No warnings. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
So the Kamachanda gives you Vyapada, Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda. Tinamidda, two words, two sounds, Tinamidda. So that means, Tinamidda means, where is Tina? What it says, what I have written there, Tina. Tinamidda, I have written the entire thing. So it is no, it's some sort of intoxication. That means that person get fully intoxinated with that particular situation. That means can't escape from it, can't escape from it. So is entangled with that person very strongly. Make sense?
Yeah.
Why? Because achievement is kama chanda. So what is the starting point? Kama chanda. No matter what, I want to achieve what I am looking for. So when that happens, no matter what happens after that, still that intention is going on in that person's mind. So until that intention or the aspiration is fulfilled, this person is not going to give up anything. So not giving up, all the other things follow. Vyapada tinamidda. So it's get in, entangled with that and doesn't know what's happening, can't see what's happening inside. If somebody goes, runs through across that, road, if somebody asks, did you see somebody's crossing that road or going that way? No, I can't remember because I'm with that Kama Chanda looking for what I'm aiming at. Makes sense? So it doesn't know what's going on in the vicinity of the area. That is called Tinamidda. So it's entangled with that fully. Then it goes to the maximum, Uddacha Kukkucha. Uddacha Kukkucha means that particular Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, all three items are reaching their maximum. Uddacha Kukkucha. And it's, vibrating, going up, up. Then you live with a doubt whether it's happening or not happening. Because that is, in other words, what Vyapada, Tinamidda and Uddacha Kukkucha are doing is, all these three items are making the Kama Chanda strong. Can you see that? So Kama Chanda is the starting point. Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddacha Kukkucha are making that Kama Chanda very strong, like a concrete. So that person cannot move away from Kama Chanda now because it's already embedded in the system very strongly. Then that person has to live with doubts and fear. That is what, in essence, that is what it means. So if you are selecting the Kama, is called Kama Chanda, selecting. Or if you are voting, 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 or you are happy to put the tick to Kamachand, then there are three items waiting to make that strong. What are they? Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddacha Kukkucha. Maximum, bring that to the maximum stronger. Then you have to live with fear and doubt. If you can remember that way, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
Understood that one?
Yeah.
Now see, Kama Chanda brings you doubt. If you go to the next items, okay, we have got another few minutes or maybe 10 minutes. I'll just go through that. I won't go through each and everything. So the next one is 10 fetters. That is what we learned.
Yeah,
We
10
got the next one
features.
up here. 10 fetters. So Kama Chanda, no, this Panch Upadana Skanda. So before coming to that, we'll go to 10 fetters, maybe the next item, next heading. We'll come to this one later. 10 fetters. That's much easier here. Dasa Sangyojana, 10 fetters. Dasa Sangyojana, right? Now, if you look at the very first item of Dasa Sangyojana, Sakkaya Ditti is the first one. Look at the very first one, Sakkaya Ditti. Here it is, here, Sakkaya Ditti, right? So it's going from Sakkaya Ditti to Avidya. Now see, this Dasa Sangyojana or the 10 fetters going from Sakkaya to Avidya. Why it is so? Because if we are with 10, if we are practicing the 10 unwholesome actions, and if we are with the 5 hindrances, then we have to suffer with Sakkaya, Ditthi and Avidya. That is what Buddha says. If a person is producing in the system Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga, Lobha, Desa, Moha, Maccare, Krodha, Vaira, and if that person is supporting the 5 hindrances, Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddhacha, Kukuccha, Vichikicha, then that system of that person tends to undergo Sakkaya Ditthi to Avidya. That is what Buddha says. All right?
Mm.
Sakkaya Ditthi to Avidya. Now, I would say these things have to be understood as much as you can, because when we talk about the third book, if we look at the 5 sutras that we have written, there I had to bring these things. I had to bring these things again and again.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Good
then
idea.
when you repeat, then you have to repeat these things. Why Buddha said that? To stop that person going through this particular set of unwholesome actions. Why Buddha
Mm-hmm.
said that particular thing in the third verse of Sutra? To stop the next one, Kama, Chanda, Vyapada, Tina. So you can visualize that in a broader sense. In a broader sense,
Mm-hmm.
all the sutras in a broader sense you can visualize and see Buddha's knowledge. You can see, unbelievable knowledge. You can see how Buddha put these things together so that if somebody has mastered these things properly, can easily figure out what the sutra says.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you will see. So it's fully worthwhile, even if you spend hours and hours to figure out, to understand these 4 items, that is the 10 unwholesome actions, the 5 hindrances, 10 sangyojana of fetters, and the dependent origination or the paticca samuppada. These are the 4 things that gives all sort of problems to our system. So if you get a good understanding, if you are thorough with these things, you can understand any sutra, no matter what, very easily.
Yeah. Yes. I believe that.
Yeah, because of that, we thought, me and my wife put the heads together, and we were thinking where to start when we are, explaining these things to the others. Where to start? There should be a starting point. So the starting point is 10 unwholesome actions, then
Mm-hmm.
5 hindrances, then
Mm-hmm.
the fetters, then the dependent origination. It will tell you where that ends up. Now see, this says Sakkaya Ditthi to Avidya. Then look at the dependent origination goes from Avidya, Paccaya, Sankara, Paccaya and all that in the next
Mm-hmm.
item. So then it will start from Avidya to the mountains of sufferings, where it end up at. How the people get mountains of sufferings. That's the term Buddha used. Mountainous sufferings, like a mountain,
Mm-hmm.
mountainous sufferings, I would say. That's not the right way in English, but according to Buddha, that is what it is.
Yes.
Mountains of sufferings. So when
Yes.
you say mountain, there is no limit. When I say there is a mountain, there is no limit, limitless. That's why Buddha used the
Endless.
word mountain. Mountain has
Oh.
no limit. There is no limit
Oh.
when it says. So that suffering has no limit. That is why Buddha used that term, mountain. So, so I don't want to go any further today. I just like to go through what we said now. So the 10
Fetus.
unwholesome actions, please go through that over and over again, because when you study the 5 sutras, you will
Oh.
come across these things. So if you understand these things, much easier for you to figure out what the sutra is explaining to us,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps a lot,
Okay.
because we are not studying just for studying, but we are studying to make use of them, to learn or explore our knowledge in other sutras.
Yeah.
Now, especially, I think, without going through a lot of sutras, if you
Mm-hmm.
can figure out, because you might think, where are we going to end up with? Buddha didn't say we have to learn all these sutras to attain Nibbana.
Nibbana.
Yeah. So to attain the enlightenment, you don't need all these things. But now see, Sopaka, Sunita, all these stories, they attained the Nibbana in no time by listening to one item. Why? Because other things came to the system. So therefore, at least as beginners, or people who are searching for this enlightenment in this life, at least to a certain extent. For example, I will just finish with another interesting story. Now, what is this life? What we are doing in this life? Buddha says, it's a quite interesting one. Buddha says, we have got in this life two abilities. I, I don't know whether it's abilities, two things. Okay, put it like that. One is the ability, strong ability. Other one is not a strong ability. What is the ability? We have got these two abilities within our system. That is to, first one is to enhance or improve our noble intellectuality. Noble intellectuality. So to realize what is happening to our system through this upadana rupa, to realize and understand. So that is the noble intellectuality that we have got. Other thing is, we have got another, not an ability, I would say another thing, put it like that way, to live with karma and suffer. We've got two options. Either we live with karma all the time, support the karma, and suffer. That's one part.
Mm-hmm.
That's called the ignorance. And the other part is the ability to enhance the noble intellectuality, to do away with sufferings or eradicate or eliminate the sufferings. So we
Yeah.
have got two options.
Mm-hmm.
Higher, if you have got 10% ability or the intellect, noble ability, noble intellectuality, if a person has got 10%, the rest is 90% is to be with calm. So if you gradually increase that ability to improve, if you improve that ability little by little to enhance the noble intellectuality, then your bad part is dropping little by little. So there can be a situation where 80% noble intellectuality and 20% being with calm. So you can come to that stage. Still, it's not enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yes,
until
totally.
you complete it fully, noble intellectuality is there. Whenever you see something, you are not hurting yourself, you are not hurting others, then that is called upekha, upeksha,
Oh, oh,
tranquility.
sure.
You take all these terms, noble intellectuality brings you upekha, or uh, it is called tranquility, serenity, and tranquility.
Yeah.
If you have got that, the
Mm-hmm.
rest is the lacking of that. So lacking part is where we are with calm, we are enjoying
Mm-hmm.
calm. So
Yeah.
we have to figure out where we are going. Now what happens is when you increase your intellectual ability or the intellectuality, noble intellectuality, which called noble means it is helping to calm down the system. So that's why it's noble. So then comes to a stage where this one is improving. Then when you check where you were and where are you now, then you decide which one is the best for you. That's what
Yeah.
Buddha said. So assessment has to be done. So I was suffering all the time. Now I am getting rid of that little by little, little by little. I like this, path, or this situation is much better than where I was. So when you come to that, only you go on increasing your intellectual ability. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I had to say. So we'll, if you're happy, we'll stop there, and tomorrow we can go through this again and go to the next part. If I'm okay, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Hopefully, you
Yeah,
will be healthy
yeah,
tomorrow. And
yeah.
next party is about what? Yeah, the 10. You mean the 10 what?
Ten unwholesome actions.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's the actions again?
so actions we have done today, 10 unwholesome actions and the 5 hindrances. So we'll go to
Mm-hmm.
the 10 fetters tomorrow.
10 feet tomorrow. Okay.
So
Thank
10
you so
fetters
much.
and we'll go. Say it again.
Yeah, I got it, and I will do some
Because,
review.
because this, you won't believe this part, I have studied these things, right? For about, say, I studied about 25 times.
Yeah, we need to. Actually, we
We
still
have to go on
working on it.
recalling these things over and over again, because when you are thorough with that, then only you feel like looking at the other sutras and try to figure out what they are. Otherwise,
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
hard.
So you named it is a fundamental, yeah,
Hmm?
essentiality. So you mentioned it's the foundation, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah. The
very
foundation
essential.
is these. Yeah, these are the bad parts of the life. These are the bad things. So to get rid of these bad things, Buddha gives the solution. So we need to know where we are, then only we can get out of them.
Yeah, yeah, actually the association is also, the members is also working at this, yeah, to remove their biases
Yeah.
and then to find some intelligent things, yeah.
Yeah, we are in a better, after being with these for the last 15, 20 years now,
Mm.
yeah, we feel much better when we are talking, when we are thinking, when we are, that Ratana Sutra. I used to recall that when I go to bed, I used to recall there are about uh, 17 verses of Ratana Sutra. 17.
Ah.
I used to recall that 17, the very 14 is the most, the other three are, repetition, but the 14 verses out of 17 are
Mm.
so essential to recall and think about. When you
Oh.
think about those 14 every night
Mm-hmm.
with the meaning, you are in a different world, I would say.
Yeah. So good.
Because
Yeah.
your system is so calm, and you worship Buddha.
Worship Buddha.
Worship Buddha while you are on the bed.
Yeah.
That's the amazing, situation and feeling.
So
And
you're always grateful.
no words to explain that. You know
Oh.
that when I want to bring you to that stage, not
Mm-hmm.
far away, so that you will realize how you feel, and when you look at what you have been to and what you are now, you can see a big difference.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not far away. We'll come to that little by little. Yes. So it's all in the book that we have written in the third book. It's all there. Ratana Sutra, Mahamangala, and Karaniya Meththa. Those are the predominant sutras a lot of
Mm.
people are using, but you have to
Yeah.
get the right meaning. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your donation, for your contribution, especially, yeah, you're still
That's
working
a
on.
pleasure. That's a pleasure. Don't worry. Yeah, it's a pleasure. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. All the best. Okay.
Okay, all the best.
Okay. Take care. Okay. All the best. You can off that from there. Yeah. I can off
Yes,
it
sweet
from here.
dreams.
Okay. We'll see.